بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. So the first category of morphology or the science or knowledge of morphology الصرف is so القسم الأول meaning the first type الميزان الصرفي. So الميزان الصرفي one could say it is the patternization of the morphable words, I guess. So it means like, for example, I'll just say one example. So like sarf, the word sarf is consisted of three letters. All of them are fundamental. And you also have the word, for example, bait. And if you see it, it also has three fundamental letters. And we will get into the question about fundamental versus, additional or added letters. But these are all fundamental. So you have 1, 2, 3, and the first one has a fatha in both cases, second one has a sukoon in both cases, and third one has dhammatain or dhammatan in both cases. So you kind of modelize this or patternize this into, or actually standardize into using the first fundamental letter and representing it as fa, and the second as ayn, and third as lam, in order to reach a standard and express things in the way of patterns. This is the short of الميزان الصرفي. So the author goes هو يعني الميزان الصرفي كلمة مكونة it is a word that is built up of or consisting of من الفاء والعين واللام على صورة الموزون. So it is a word, here it is, this one for example, it is a word that is built up from الفاء والعين واللام in the image or shape of the موزون, what is being analyzed or patternized. So this is the actual الوزن or الوزن الصرفي or الميزان الصرفي. So that's it. That's the pattern. الميزان الصرفي in this meaning is the actual pattern. وهو يعتمد, and it depends on or leans on, because العماد, for example, is the pillar. It depends on the knowledge of the original letters, or the original letters, or the root letters, one could say, or the fundamental letters, and the added letters in the word that is being analyzed. فالحرف الأصلي, so then the original letter is هو الذي, it is what يثبت is established or is always there, it stays put in all the forms of the word. والحرف الزائد, and the added letter, it is what false, or well, basically it's not included. I mean, it disappears, it goes away. In some, في شيء, in some of the forms of the word. And تصاريف الكلمة, and this term right here, the forms of the word is تقلباتها, its different forms. Like الماضي, meaning past tense verb, المضارع, present tense verb, والأمر, imperative, order, verb, والمصدر, infinite, the infinitive, meaning like, walking or a walk, واسم الفاعل, which is the form that the actor takes, like a killer. واسم المفعول, and the acted upon, like the killed, murdered, واسم المكان, the place of the, okay, this is getting gruesome, the place of the murder, so for example, a killing ground is maqtal, so there's a word for that in Arabic. واسم الزمان, and a name for the time, like yeah, I'll get back to it. والمثنى, and this is the dual as opposed to the plural, meaning two of something. So kitabun is one, kitabani, two. That's the dual, that's the مثنى. والجمع, and the plural, the like books. And some examples. مثاله, so examples of this is كتب, he wrote, يكتب, he is writing, اكتب, write, imperative, order. كاتب, a writer. مكتوب, something written. كتاب, meaning basically more or less the same, but it means book. كتابة, writing. مكتب, place of writing. Or also, more specifically, desk. مكتبة, library. كتب, books, plural. كتيبة, and this is related because this really means, a like a militia, or a yeah, it's a military term for a group of combatants, right? So katiba is related to writing because writing comes from the word. It really originally means jama, to collect something. You collect letters into words, and the same thing with these militias. They are also collections of people. وكتاب is the plural of katiba, and the kutab is the plural of katib. Aktaba, he made something right, or someone write. He made someone write. He caused someone to write something, right? Kattaba, it sometimes means the same thing, but it also means he wrote very, like, for example, quickly or very abundantly. He wrote very much, or very intensely. Kataba, he wrote to someone. Wastaktaba, he asked or requested someone to write for him. فالحروف الأصلية, so the original or fundamental letters are, in these examples, الكاف والتاء والباء. ك تا با. So for example here, كاف تا با. These are not original. Ma, mim, and waw. Because they are in all of the forms. Fa. So كتب is a mujarrad, a word that is mujarrad, meaning bare, very much essential. It only has the fundamental letters. It doesn't have anything else. So, for example, maktab, it is not a mujarrad word. This is a mujarrad word. Kataba. It doesn't have anything else. Only three letters. All of them are fundamental. Okay. فعل مجرد. This is a fundamental, no, it's a مجرد verb. كتب, it means books. It's also مجرد, but it's not a verb, it's a noun. وما سواهما, and all of the others of these words, كلمات مزيدة. They are like almost increased words, or they are, words with extra letters. I don't really, when I teach Arabic, I don't really go into the مجرد and mazid that much, because I think it is of little practical importance, just for the record. فالحروف الأصلية, so the original or fundamental letters, تقابل, they are represented or corresponded, they correspond with or are met with الفاء والعين واللام. So you exchange these for فاء عين لام. فالحرف الأصلي الأول يقابل بفاء. So the first original letter is met with or corresponded with, it is made to correspond with الفاء. Like كتب فعل, يكتب يفعل, for example. والثاني بعين, and the second one with عين, and the third with, and the fourth, and the fifth with لامات. So this is the plural of lam. So قمر has its pattern, its wazn is فعل. قمر فعل. I mean قمر فعال. And سهل وزنه فعل. وجعفر وزنه فعلل. You see here? Fourth letter. This is a four-letter word. It's a mujarrad. So we know that all of these letters are original or fundamental. So he said here, the third, الثالث والرابع والخامس تقابل بلامات. So fa, عين, lam, lam, and lam. So and khamis as well. Yeah. So exactly. So if there was another letter here, it would also be lam. So here you have two lams. Fa'lalun. So ja'farun is on the wazn of fa'lalun. And here we have a five-letter word. Mujarrad. So it is, it has five fundamental letters. So safarjalun. Safarjalun. I don't actually know what this means. Waznuhu fa'allalun. And this is, you might wonder, like, hey, there's only four letters here, but shadda, this one, which by the way is a sheen without, the cup and the three dots. So if you remove that, there's only this one left. So it means a double letter. Shadda means like pressure or force, because the letter becomes more forceful. Fa'allalun, But this fa'allalun can also be written as, it's not correct, but it's technically, theoretically correct. Fa'al lal lun. Fa'al sukun la lun. Fa'al la lun. So that is completely equivalent, pronunciation wise to this. So it has five letters in fact. وأما الحروف المزيدة, and when it comes to the extra letters, then they have two situations, scenarios. If they are, yeah, exactly. So if they stem or come from actually repeating a part or a letter that is original, then the letters that are used to construct the pattern is those letters are duplicated as well. So فتوزن, they are, the pattern is constructed بتكرير ما يقابلها من أحرف الميزان. So they are constructed by repeating تكرير and تكرار, by repeating what corresponds to it out of the letters of the pattern. So علم, here you have lam. This is a 4-letter word. So علم is equivalent to علم. See? And then this letter here has been brought by repeating this one بتكرير اللام. So I mean العين عفوا. So then the pattern becomes also by repeating the ain. So fa, a, la, like that. Sukoon, sukoon, and then in the end becomes with shadda, right? وركع فعل, ركع فعل, and عتل. Yeah, so this one we also repeated the middle letter, and here عتل فعل, then they repeated the lam twice, right? And this word maris, maris, you can see there's a repetition here, right? So then the fa, ain, lam here, and there's a ya, then these two will be used for constructing these two. So fa'il, right? Allah alam if this is actually an Arabic word, but yeah, in any case, وَإِن كَانَتْ نَاشِئَةً. Yeah, so okay, this is when the letters, so there are two cases to regard or reason about when you analyze the extra letters. So either it's by repetition or ناشئة من حروف الزيادة, or it is just an extra letter which does not stem from the actual word by repeating anything from the word. So, and by the way, the extra letters that can occur in a word, this is kind of parenthesis, there is also like a little bit limited relevance or importance in my opinion, but this is very common in Arabic. Like okay, so all the letters that can be added to a word, like in an extra manner, they can be memorized by memorizing this word. So al-majmu'a, they are collected, these letters, in the word سألتمونيها. سألتمونيها. It means you asked me, you asked, you plural, asked me, singular, about her. سألتمونيها, or it. So these توزن بذكرها, and these are, like patternized by mentioning them as they are. بلفظها, within their own form, let's say, in the pattern. So they just get transferred from the word into the pattern as is. So if it's a ta, it becomes a ta. It doesn't become fa, ain, lam, So here we have a word. It is a mazid word. It's not a mujarrad word. It has 3 fundamental letters. I happen to know that. This really doesn't help you in analyzing the words and extracting patterns from words. So I can just tell you that these 3 are original letters. This one is a حرف زيادة, يعني حرف مزيد كذا. So these 3 are substituted with fa, ain, lam, and this one is transferred as is. So you see, أخرج أفعل. Three remaining letters are switched for their فاعل لام counterparts. Then you have واجتمع. There's no hamza, so it's not like أجتمع. No, it is اجتمع افتعل. So you see, the three fundamental letters are Jim, Meme, and Ain. Fa, Ain, Lam, right? Then you have the Hamzatul Wasl, and you have the Ta. They are transferred as is. So this one here, this one goes here. And Mukhrijun have the same. Kha, Ra, Jim, Mukhrijun. This one is transferred as is. These ones become fa'il lam. Muf'ilun. And istakhraja, also hamzatul wasl, which, by the way, hamzatul wasl is this is what is the symbol? What does that mean? It's actually described in the Mus'haf al-Malik Fahd as رأس صاد صغيرة. رأس صاد. So it's a and صغيرة. So it's a صاد like this, but it's cut off. It's just the head. رأس صاد صغيرة, meaning وصل or صل, like continue. Because the actual word, if you say wa and continue, it will go away. واستخرج, But if you do not make wasl, meaning continue, reading from something before it, then it becomes a hamzatul qata', a normal hamza, like استخرج. So here we have the three fundamental letters again, and the ta, sin, hamzatul wasl, they are kept as is, like this, transferred as is. Here we go. استفعل, استخرج. And مشروب. I think you get the hang of this. So, this one here, this one here. مشروب مفعول, like that. وسبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك.